Well, again, good morning. Again, this is Social Media One-on-One. If you'd like a copy of today's presentation, you can visit our website at claninmarketing.com/workshops. I'm going to pull that up on my screen here. This won't let me. I'm on a different computer. So address the elephant in the room. We have an Iowa sign behind me. I did not go to Iowa. I am rooting for Illinois tonight, as hopefully everyone else is. I'm visiting a friend in Florida this week, so I'm using his office and his computer. So I had to change a couple of the permission levels. So 1 second here while I work to transition, and hopefully we can get this going. There we go. Okay, so you should see that. This is the website. Again, if you'd like a PDF of today's presentation, claninmarketing.com/workshops. Just scroll about midway through the page and you're going to see a for attendees section. Just fill out your name and email, and again, you'll get a copy of today's presentation. As Jordan mentioned, we have a full series of marketing webinars scheduled all the way up through August. A variety of different topics, but some of those topics are in relation to what we're talking about today. So today with Social Media 101, we're covering very high level topics on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. But if you want to drill down a little deeper and learn a little more about some standalone platforms, maybe just about Instagram or just about how to use LinkedIn for business, we do have a separate webinar just on those platforms later on this year. In addition, just to plug one of our next ones, with our friends at the Champaign Public Library, Jordan and I are hosting an in-person workshop where we're going to show you best ways to create incredible reels for your Instagram account. These are their short format videos. I have a few slides that we'll cover with you today, but during that in-person one, we're going to be showing, I'll be casting my phone, and we're going to create some great reels together. So be sure to check out the schedule and join us for that. As Jordan mentioned, my name is Scott. I am with Clanin Marketing. We're a full-service marketing and creative agency based in downtown Champaign, and we serve clients all across the Midwest. We do everything from brand development, graphic design, branding, brand identity projects, and more. But really where we got our start was the world of social media. So I started the company officially in 2015, but even before that, I started working with businesses in 2010, 11, 12, really when social media for business was very new at the time. Back in the day, you couldn't even really create an official business account on Facebook. You had to create a personal account, but use it as a business, and so much has evolved over the years. It was really the Wild West of marketing, as I like to say, back when I started helping businesses. And so since then, I've really worked to stay on top of a lot of these platforms and really understand that, the market that we're in. So again, if you're joining us from outside of Champaign County, again, we're located in Champaign, Illinois. And so we worked with a lot of clients, a lot of businesses around that market. And I've really learned what platforms end up working well, what ad types end up working well within that central to east central Illinois market. Now, as you get into more of that larger markets, the larger cities, St. Louis, Chicago, Indianapolis, you may need to then utilize a different strategy or a different plan, because social media is all about hitting the right people with the right message at the right time. So I'm going to be sharing with you today a variety of different tips and tricks on a handful of different platforms. But please know, as with all of my webinars, I wish I could spend all week with you talking about, let's just drill down to Facebook ads, or now let's talk about Instagram insights. We simply don't have the time today. So I really pulled out some of the key important pieces I feel would be good for those on the call who are just getting started on social media. Maybe you've taken a little bit of a pause on social media, or you're not really sure what you should be doing, what ad types you should be utilizing. I have social media for my business, but I don't know what I'm doing. This is also a great platform for you as well. So, or a great webinar for you. Like I mentioned earlier, we will have separate ones on Instagram and a separate one on LinkedIn later on this year. So, okay, so this is our agenda for today. I'm going to talk really quick about objectives and your targeted audience. Again, it's really important to understand who you're talking to online. And that's the beauty of digital marketing, is that we can get in front of the right people. We just have to understand who they are first. We're going to talk about Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. I'm going to touch on a new platform called Threads. I'm Not sure if it's going to take off, but I want to at least mention it to you today. We're going to just touch very briefly with my personal thoughts, keyword on personal, on X, TikTok, and YouTube. So we're going to be covering a lot today. But hopefully, again, you get some key takeaways when you are looking to either start your social media strategy. Again, this is Social Media 101, or looking to maybe dust off some of your accounts and get back into a new solid strategy for 2024. I'm going to talk quickly about content creation, ways to create what we call thumb-stopping content online, and then I'm going to leave you with some additional resources. So let's go ahead and get started. And like Jordan mentioned, if you have a question at any point today, use that Zoom toolbar, use the chat box there, and then again, you can post your questions. You want to read me those questions at the end. All right. So let's talk about, before we dive into Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn, what's the goal of utilizing these platforms? What's your main objective? What's the purpose of you using social media, and who is your targeted audience? Are you looking to sell items on your website? Are you looking to use it more from a PR standpoint? We've won these community awards. We've voted some of the best places to work. Are you looking to set yourself up as an industry expert in the industry and share free resources and tools? All those just quick objectives that I listed are things that I've seen. You don't want to just start a social media account just to start an account. You need to have some sort of goal and objective in front of you. A lot of times, for most of us, it's of course getting our name out there, building brand equity in the market, getting people to visit our website. And so I know this webinar isn't about website design, but it is important to think about your website. When social media for businesses really started taking off, the conversation at the time was, well, do I keep my website, or is social media replacing my website? And the answer is, it's not replacing your website. You do still need to have a website for your company, for your organization, that these social media sites work as a funnel to get people to your website, to learn more about your service, to learn more about your products. In addition, a website also helps you rank higher on the search engines, and may again attract people who aren't really even active on social media. So you do still need to have a website. But again, think about what your overall goals are with utilizing social media and creating content. What is your content? How often are you planning to share it? Who am I talking to? We'll dive through those a little bit deeper, but again, keep in the back of your mind, what are your target objectives, target goals, as we dive into some of your social media strategies for 2024? So if you've been on any of my webinars in the past, welcome back. It's good to have you again. But this is a slide that I've been using for some time now, because it is so important to think about who your targeted audience is. Who do you want to talk to? Where are they on the internet? And what's most important to them? This could be a great little game, a great little team building exercise if you do have a small team, where you just kind of create, bring out a blank piece of paper, create lists. Who's my targeted audience? You may find that, you know what, we have different services, different products. You may have different targeted audience for each one of those. Let's write out who that, we call that the buyer or customer persona. Who is that person? What do they look like? What are their hobbies? What do they like doing? What are their interests? This is going to help you when it comes to not only creating content on social media, but when you're ready to spend a little money on social media by running ads, by boosting posts. We'll talk about that in a bit. But when it asks you to boost a post or run an ad on some of these platforms to get in front of more people, they're going to be asking you questions like this. And you're going to want to fill in the blanks, right? You want to fill in the age range, what some of their interests are. Social media, was built for us to stay connected with each other and for us to have our own kind of digital presence. So when I create a Facebook page for myself, I can add in my hometown. I can add in my current town. I can add in who my aunt is. And if I like certain books online, or if I like certain pages about camping, the page knows that I'm interested in maybe outdoor activities. Well, for us, and I'm assuming most of us on the call all have social media accounts for ourselves, it just seems like we're filling out our profile. We're just going about interacting with things that we see that come up in our feed. When in reality, Meta is, again, the umbrella company that owns Facebook and Instagram, is using that for marketing purposes. And so when we now, as the marketers, as the business owners, are ready to run ads, we can run targeted ads to people who have a certain interest in this, who maybe were recently engaged over the past 30 days, who are away from their hometown, who have a birthday coming up. Facebook or Meta knows all this because the data that we provide, the data that we set in when we set up our profile. So the data's there. We just have to understand, okay, now I'm ready to come up with a strategy to market my business online. Who do I need to talk to? So think about your target audience as we're going through today's slides. All right. The first one, we're going to spend a little more time today on Facebook and Instagram compared to LinkedIn and Threads, because these are the two big ones when we think of social media. Again, I'm going to talk about TikTok and share some of my personal thoughts on TikTok. But let's start here. Let's start with Facebook. This is the easier one because it's been around for the longest, right? I included some statistics. We won't go through all these in detail. And again, feel free to download this slide deck on our website. But Facebook is different, right, from the users that are on Instagram, from the users that are on LinkedIn. So 13% of global active Facebook users are women between the ages of 25 to 34. What I'm going to show you in a bit is how to access data from your page. So Facebook itself is still a popular platform, but we're seeing that it's getting a little older with the age range. So if you're looking to target more of that student population, right, that Gen Z is, I think is what they're called now. We're thinking more of the TikTok, the Instagram Reels, Snapchat, etc. Not so much as Facebook, if that's your audience. But Facebook is a great platform for just a wide range of people. Again, if you're just focusing on that younger demographic, those other platforms can be great. But if you have anyone really older than that Gen Z, Facebook is still a pretty solid platform to advertise on, because when you do advertise on Facebook, you also can advertise on Instagram. They're connected together. Okay, so some great statistics here about why Facebook, why it's great. Again, I won't go through all of these. These are just kind of for reference later on, but again, still a pretty popular platform. Now, one of the things I wanted to at least mention in today's call, because I know some of you on the call, with this being a one-on-one class, are a little new to social media, and it's really important to make sure that you're not missing any key elements when you are setting up your page. And a lot of times, pages, I mean, Facebook continues to evolve, Instagram, all these other social media platforms continue to evolve. And so even though I've been giving this webinar for a number of years now, every time I go in, I have to update screenshots. I have to update the slide deck because things change all the time. So looking very quickly at a typical business profile layout, you have your profile photo, of course. You want to make sure that that's typically your business logo that's fit well within typically it's a square, a 1080 pixel by 1080 pixel that's cropped as a circle. So you want to make sure that your logo is there. You have your name. As you go down there, we have categories. So it's really important to make sure you are setting your category. For us, it's marketing agency. You're adding in your location if you have a brick and mortar store. You have a cover page that goes there at the top. I will be sharing with you a resource to create custom tailored cover pages for your Facebook business page. So if you don't have a good photo to use, or maybe you want some sort of graphic, a seasonal sale, whatever it may be, there's a great platform I'm going to show you how to create Facebook headers, and you don't really even need to be a graphic designer yourself to do that. Something new-ish are featured posts at the top, where you can, back then I think they were called pinned posts, but you can basically pin a post to the very top of your page. So this is just an example, one that we actually need to unpin. But when weather turned pretty bad one morning, we decided to close the office. And so what we did was pin that post up into our featured posts. So regardless of what other posts you make that day, whatever you put at the top is the featured post. And so a lot of times we just have some nice work examples that we put up here in the featured post. But if you want to do that, you're going to click the little three dots on the right-hand side, and you should see that pin post or featured post. And again, that will push that to the top of your page and stay there for as long as you want it to. And in this case, we need to unpin that office closure from January. Facebook has kind of grown over the years. So there's something called your Facebook Business Manager account. You'll probably see that as you do log into Facebook. Make sure you do set that up and you do familiarize yourself with Facebook Business Manager. And then the one thing too is you have a variety of options for what we call your call to action button or your page button. For us, if you look at our name there at the top, Clanin Marketing, and we have our followers, you take your eye and move it over to the left, you see that blue Contact Us button. That's your page button. You can set that to whatever you like. This is something else that people often miss. For us, we just want them to contact us. So that takes us over to our Contact Us page. But if you take a look at the left-hand side, that screenshot there, there's a variety of options. Maybe you're a salon, you want to do book now, call now, send message, send email. Variety of different call to actions based on your goals and objectives. So again, think about what you want someone to do when they see a call to action on your page. One thing I do want to know, and we're going to go over some best practices when it comes to Facebook. When you do post something to Facebook, you're going to see a little blue button underneath it. A lot of times this pops up after you post it that says Boost Post. Back in the day, before the algorithms changed, let's say if you had 800 followers on your page, you would post something and maybe 600 people would see it. Facebook then changed that to where if you have 800 followers on your page, you post something, and now maybe 40 people see it, maybe 80 people see it. The numbers plummeted. But in return, this little blue button came out. And this is a way for you to get that post in front of more people, either your followers or maybe new people that haven't liked your page yet. And when you do click the boost post, again, you're basically boosting it. You're showing it to more people. This is an existing piece of content you've already posted on your Facebook page that you're just wanting to send out to more people. This is great for like an impression-based campaign. Impressions mean the number of times someone sees that ad. So if you have a big spring sale coming up, you have a big spring open house, or a grand opening happen, or a big community event this summer, you're not really interested in how many clicks you get to the website. You're maybe just want to get the date out there. Just get your name, logo, and the event name out there. That would be more of an impression-based campaign. This would be an excellent tool to use for that. And it's pretty inexpensive. You can boost something as little as, I think, $5, $10 for a number of days. I just boosted something the other day for a client that was maybe, I think $50 for a week or two, which isn't a ton when you really think about it. And again, it really depends what you're selling and what you want your return to be. But the number of people it reached was incredible versus if we weren't to boost that at all. So boosting a post, again, it's a feature. It's a post that's already been on your page that you're looking to just boost out more. And again, this is something announcing an event, making a big announcement, sharing user-generated content, etc. But boost post isn't something that you should do all the time. When I do ask clients, have you done any advertising on Facebook? A lot of times I hear, yes, I have boosted my post. And they're not wrong. Boosting posts is still a form of advertising, but there's a variety of other ad types out there that really aren't available to you when you do boost a post. And so you're a little limited to what you can do within boosted posts. A lot of times, let's say if I have a spring, let's say I own a home interior decor store and I'm hosting a big spring sale, a big spring open house, and I post a photo of the inside of my store. I post it with all the details and I boost that up. I'm really just boosting that one photo, and that's really about it. But maybe I want to share so many other things that we have going on. So maybe we're serving fresh lemonade and we're partnering with a local candle maker, and they're going to come in and do a little candle workshop, and there'll be a food truck out front. Like there's different little mini moments, these kind of experiences that you're offering. there's a lot to talk about, and maybe one photo isn't enough. So what if we did multiple photos and each photo has a little caption underneath it? You really can't do that well within the boosted post feature. So in that case, I'm going to show you another way to get your ad across. Now you may be wondering, well, do I have to advertise on Facebook? I don't have a ton of money to spend. Facebook and Instagram and all the other platforms, they are free to join. They are free to have a business account on there. But if you are starting from scratch, if you're starting just from a blank slate, it's going to be very hard for you to grow your followers over time. Just because the nature of the landscape anymore. The algorithms are tough to fight through. It's tough to stand out, and it's tough to get in front of people. So it could be a long game. You could grow your pages organically, but really to get in front of people, you will need to set aside just a little bit of money to help advertise a bit. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to kind of point out some advertising tactics, and then we'll go over to some best practices. One of my favorite ad types is called carousel. And if you're taking notes, there's a site that I would like you to go to really run your Facebook ads. So when you go to your Facebook page, when you're in the business manager or your business account, usually on the left-hand side towards the bottom, you're going to see a blue button that says promote. You can go through there, and then that's a way to set up an ad. Or you can go to the Facebook ad manager. Just type that into Google. And again, this will get you your platform, the Facebook ad platform, to run a variety of ad types. Now, of course, you want to make sure you have your Facebook page set up first, you're adding in some content, you have an idea of strategy, who you're talking to, but that's a good way to set up ads. A carousel ad, this is what you see on the left-hand side. This is my favorite ad type. We talked about earlier, or just a slide ago, if I was to open like a home decor store, we have a spring open house. We've all seen this where you have those different cards and you can swipe, 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 swipe. In this case, they did one large image that's broken up, right? That's cool, it's impactful, but you don't have to do that. You can add different images to each one of these cards. Each card can have a different title, and then each card you can hyperlink to a different page on your website, which is so cool. So if you have a variety of different products and a variety of different services that your business offers, maybe your website has different landing pages for those, this is a great platform. Lead ads on the right. If you're looking to generate leads, hey, call us for a free quote. Maybe you're a roofer. You need to come out and give a free estimate. Lead ads are great. They never even have to go to your website. They click the ad. So in this case, learn more. It has a form that's pre-populated with their information. And then you're going to click and really submit, and then you're all set. You as the advertiser will get that information on the back end. So a screenshot there at the bottom, there's a little section called Lead Center, and it will tell you the name. Of course, I blocked this out just for privacy, but it shows you the name, the email, and phone of that person, so they can go through and give them a ring or reach out. So lead ads are excellent. There's a variety of different other types of ads, but carousel ads are, again, most versatile because you can add a variety of different photos and ones that we've seen the greatest success with. These are just a variety of benefits for lead ads. I won't go through each one of these, but again, if you are interested in capturing leads to where you or someone on your sales team can reach out to people, this is a great ad type. Okay, let's talk about some general Facebook best practices. And these are questions that we get asked a lot. How often should I post? For Facebook, you want to aim for 2 to 3 posts per week if possible. And again, try to plan ahead. Work with your team to create some sort of content calendar, a marketing plan for the year. You know probably when you have big events coming up, or when your busy seasons are, when your slower times are, when you should maybe advertise a little more to maybe pick up some traffic during that slow time. So always try to plan ahead. Keep it real. So be conversational, be authentic. Any more social media, especially with the short format videos, we don't want to be overly polished online. We want to create a sense of connection with our followers online. So keep it real, be conversational, get creative when you have something to promote, share exclusive content fans can't see from anywhere else. So again, Instagram is a great way to post something to your story, which we'll talk about. Hey, we're in the kitchen today, we're whipping up this special that will be on our menu this weekend. That little sneak peek Your followers feel connected with you, and then maybe when they're going out with their neighbors, hey, did you know they source this from XYZ? There's a Mexican restaurant in Champaign that makes their tortillas from scratch, and they source their corn from a local farm, I believe, within Champaign County, which is so cool. And it's so fresh. It's always really, really good. But that little nugget of information is something that stuck with me ever since I saw that on social media. So it's what we call just a differentiator. There's many different Mexican restaurants in the area, but I like that one because it's pretty authentic. I mean, who is making all the tortillas from scratch every single day? That's really cool. Acknowledging a comment may earn you a lifelong fan. People love to chime in and provide their thoughts online, and they love when the organization responds to them and tags them back into a comment. So make sure that you are engaging, you are communicating with your followers. You're creating videos, let fans feel like that they're with you, maybe going live. So this is a little live video that you see on the right-hand side. You start creating and sparking these conversations with the brand between you and your followers. Going live is great to maybe make an announcement, share something new, or just maybe hang out with your fans. There's some jewelry stores where they start doing that either weekly or once a month. And it's almost like a little home shopping network where it's the business and their fans, and then it's the same people or similar people that keep coming back. You create this little sense of community, really fun. And of course, in your Facebook content, not all the time, but do remember this, you want to include a CTA or a call to action. So you don't want to, and what do I mean by you don't want to do it all the time? Meaning, if I was let's say, boutique, and I wanted to market my clothes that I'm selling, instead of saying shop now, buy here on every post, right? That may seem a little overwhelming, a little pushy to your followers. They know that you're selling items online, but not everything has to be a push to buy that product. Maybe just show some exclusive behind the scenes content. Maybe feature a customer that loves coming to your store and maybe why they love coming to the store. So instead of selling the actual product, sell the brand and the experience and how they make some of your customers feel. Just some quick other additional tips when it comes to Facebook. Make sure that you're using high quality creatives. So you're using high quality images, GIFs, or videos. Do not use blurry photos or blurry videos. And if possible, try to use imagery that accurately reflects your brand. Literally just this morning, and I remember I was scrolling through, I was like, I'm going to use this as an example in the workshop today. Earlier this morning, I was on this website for blinds, and I was looking in the region for different people that offer like blinds and window treatments and everything. And I go to one that's a localish company, and I noticed that I wanted to just look at their portfolio to look at some examples, but every photo in there was stock photos. It was all from the vendor. So then I just start thinking, well, it's like, well, who are they? Who is this local business? I don't know who the people are. What makes them different? If they're using the same stock photos as from the vendor, from that blind vendor as another company down the road, why should I use them? If you have some money set aside, work with a local photographer to take your own custom stock photography. This is really going to help elevate all of your content online and just really make it look 10 times better. If you have to, lean to stock photography, you don't have time right now to get a photographer in, but it's something I certainly recommend you doing. Shutterstock is great. Adobe Stock is great. You do have to pay for some of those, but if you are starting off, you really have no money to spend. You do not want to just pull photos from Google. We've actually seen people get in trouble. They've gotten letters from attorneys representing a photographer that's saying that you just stole that photo from Google because they could do backward searches. Do not do that. So if you don't have any money to spend on photography, but you do still need some high quality photography, use sites called like Unsplash, unsplash.com, or Pexels, Pexels.com. Again, that's Pexels.com. These are commercial license-free photo databases where you can use photos and use them for your blog or use them for social media, for flyers, etc. But again, that would be the last step. Photos that you can use for commercial purposes that don't cost anything. Make posts actionable. Again, you want to grab your audience attention and drive them to take an action on your website, like call to actions. Really understand your audience. When are they online? What's the makeup between male and female on our pages? And keep posts simple. So keep your color scheme, include recognizable images, and use minimal and concise text. This is a little example here of just a well-branded kind of frame, if you will. These are graphics that you could use for social media, for your Instagram pages. Of course, these are square, but you can also make these into vertical orientations for like mobile applications for stories. You can design all these in a program called Canva, C-A-N-V-A. We actually have a Canva workshop coming up later this year, but you don't need to be a graphic designer to create something like this. There's now templates that are available to you. You can go in and customize the colors and fonts and add in your photos. But just from a quick glance at this, this has a nice, tight, consistent look to it, especially if you are promoting some sort of sale or big announcement. I talked earlier about understanding your audience. So again, not only just understanding your audience and interacting with your paid advertisements, but how are they interacting with your organic content, content that you're not paying any money for? And that's where I want you to look at your Facebook insights. So if you look on the left-hand side, you're going to see a little kind of left tab menu, if you will. You'll have your page there at the top, and then below that, you're going to see an area called Insights. That's what I have outlined in the yellow. Click Insights, and then it will take you over to this other page, your professional dashboard. There's a variety of other little reports that you can run in here. But the one I want to show you is content. So it can show you through all the past X amount of months, the content and posts that you made on your page. What are people interacting with? Your post reach. So you can see that one of our post reach is 199, engagement 61. Engagement meaning people sharing it, liking it, commenting, etc. And reach is the number of people that it went out to. We did not boost any of these. So even though our page has maybe just about 700 followers, you can see if we're not putting any money behind it, post reach 88 people, 65 people, 99 people. But again, post reach 200 for not boosting anything isn't terrible, just because we have to kind of work with Facebook algorithms now. So you may be asking, well, what does this tell me, Scott? This is telling you what people are interacting with, what people are responding to on your pages. Maybe it's certain blog topics that you see, gosh, a lot of people are engaging with this. Or anytime we post a photo of us, of our team, we get 10 times more engagement on it. This is going to help you put the pieces of the puzzle together so you can really start identifying what people are really looking for and responding to well on our Facebook page. And there's so many other reports in here that you'll just have to go in and play with. I do recommend using Facebook Live. This is a great way for you to humanize your brand, connect with your audience, etc. Won't go through all these in depth, but it's a great tool. It's a free tool for you to then interact and maybe provide an announcement, talk about this new product that you're selling, engage and communicate with your followers. Okay, we're going to segue over to Instagram and then quickly hit on the other platforms, because I did spend a little longer than I wanted to. I know we had a little hiccup at the beginning here with the computer, but we are going to zip through Instagram because this is also a very important platform. Again, it's more of that younger demographic. 64% of Instagram users are 18 to 29-year-olds. And I mentioned earlier that when you do advertise on Facebook, you have the ability to connect your Instagram account, and that same ad is ported over and displayed on Instagram, which is great. The one thing I want you to keep in mind, though, either if you have an old Instagram account for your business or you are looking to set one up, you do set up an official business account. Your business account is going to give you certain things that you can't get through a personal account. It's going to give you real-time metrics, insights into your followers. You can add information like business hours, location, and phone number. So just make sure that you are setting it up correctly as an official business account. Very similar to Facebook page, you want to make sure that you are filling out everything as possible. You have your profile photo then, and make sure your logo fits within that circle. If not, you can actually use Canva to help resize your logo, but you have your name and your category. Make sure your bio is an accurate reflection of your business. You only have about maybe a short sentence to put in there. This is also fun to maybe add a couple little fun emojis in there. This is more of a relaxed platform that you do see more emojis on. You have highlights. These are things that you can pin to your page. And so let's say if you post a story, stories are short pieces of content that disappear after 24 hours. If you don't want it to disappear, so in Hopscotch's case, maybe they're posting a really cool dessert that they just came out of the oven. If they don't want that to disappear, they can pin that to what's called their highlight, pin it to their dessert highlight. So if someone goes to their page and want to look at all the different cakes or different desserts, they can go there and look through all the different dessert content that you posted in the past. And then with the business page, you do have those contact options, that call or email option there. Okay, so what are some best practices with Instagram? Instagram, you want to aim, if possible, 3 to 4 posts per week, and make sure that you are maintaining a consistent brand voice. Are you a little more buttoned up and professional? Are you more fun and casual? Think of the example I give all the time is Jimmy John's. Jimmy John's does a great job of maintaining brand voice on the website, brand voice on social media. So make sure that you are keeping that brand voice the same across. Stay relevant. Tag people when appropriate. People love tagging others online. We love to be tagged. What I love about that is that when that other business is tagged, there's a good chance that they're going to share that to their story. What happens to you? Your name, your account gets in front of all of their followers. This is a great way to just organically grow over time. So maybe tag some people that you're partnering with, tag your business neighbors, add location. So when you do make a post, you can add your location because some people will search by, well, let me look at posts from this restaurant. So instead of just looking at the restaurant page, they look at posts that were tagged by that or tagged for that location. Encourage user-generated content. Maybe when you do ship something like a shirt, hey, we'd love to see this on you. We'd love to see how you styled this. Tag us at this or use hashtag blank. That's a great way to just encourage user-generated content, and making sure, of course, you're adding a call to action. You're posting during optimal time. So what time of the day are your followers online? You can look at all that in Facebook Insights. You can get a little creative with emojis and just making sure that you're keeping up with all of the trends. One of them being is Instagram Reels. So we actually do have that in-person webinar or workshop that I mentioned earlier. So if you are interested in making really cool Reels, be sure to join us for that. But just to quickly touch on this, if we think of TikTok are those short format videos. This is the same thing, but this is Facebook's response to TikTok because Facebook does not own TikTok. So these are also short format videos where you can record up to 15 to 30 seconds of short videos, share it with your followers. This could be anything of what's happening at your business. For us, it's sometimes behind the scenes content. Sometimes it's like work that we've done, or maybe we're on a video shoot that day. Again, kind of showing them what goes on behind the camera. So there's a variety of different really cool reels that you can make, but unlike stories, they don't disappear after 24 hours. They stay within your Reels tab. That's your little, look at that circle icon, that's your little play button, that's your Reels tab. So stories disappear, Reels do not. Great way to get in front of maybe people that have never heard of your page. If you're using maybe some local hashtags, it's a great way for people to maybe discover your brand online. And anymore, Instagram has really become more video based. It will be interesting to see. I heard some rumors that Instagram is maybe going back to just being more photo based, but right now it's very heavy with short format videos. And again, all those are called Reels. Just some general Reels idea you could do before and afters. They have really cool green screens. So if I didn't want to show Iowa behind me, I can put a green screen behind me and put really whatever I want behind me. Get to know us, meet the team. So maybe you have someone that is working your counter, your point of sale system, that they're always there, customers love her. Let's get to know him and her, or a little bit more. And where do they go to school? What do they love about the community? What are some of their favorite products? So I love those. Comment on current events, provide industry insights. You can day in the life, behind the scenes, quick tips, sneak peek, share a story, testimonials. There's so many cool real ideas. I have a couple examples there. Elise Darmo was one of the first ones I think I personally saw using Reels. So definitely look into her. But honestly, anymore, just save Reels to your phone to an inspiration library. Maybe it's a piece of music. I'm going to show you in the workshop coming up how to save good music, what to look for in music, how to identify trending music. But take some time, and I took about a year before we really jumped on the Reel bandwagon to really understand how we use Reels for ourselves, because we're a service-based business. We don't have a physical product that we sell. And so we're constantly learning, but a lot of that was just me looking at other Reels from other businesses and really working to identify what makes them really stand out. There's some cool Instagram apps that you can look to download. Layout, Boomerang, Hyperlapse. Mojo is one that I use a lot. Mojo is great. Canva, you can also use Canva to create some really cool Instagram graphics. So Instagram, again, it is photo-based. It started as a photo-based platform, but it has segued over to now, in response to TikTok, that short format video. It's more hashtag heavy. You do want to incorporate some hashtags up to about, I think, no more than 10 really. Use a mix of local hashtag, high level hashtag. Maybe your business doesn't just reach people within the local area. You can sell to anyone across the country. In that case, you can really chime into some fun conversations online by using some more hashtags. And we'll talk about content creation here in a bit. Okay, briefly talking about LinkedIn. LinkedIn is more geared for your B2B, your business to business organizations like myself. So we're a business and we work with other businesses. I am not a B2C. We aren't a business to consumer business. But really LinkedIn, we all probably have a LinkedIn account maybe for ourselves. But if it fits well, maybe you can have a LinkedIn account for your business. Again, if this fits the criteria for your target audience. Like the other ones, of course, you want to make sure you're completing your profile photo, your tagline, your custom buttons, your page updates, etc. It's very similar to Facebook, but for business. And you're talking to people when they have their business hat on. We're not really going through LinkedIn just on the couch as we would on Facebook. When we're on LinkedIn, we're in that business mode. So a couple of quick best practices for LinkedIn. Try to aim for 1 to 2 posts per week. Really make sure that you are completing your page, sharing content that matters. So on the right-hand side, this was a little case study that we did, high quality mock-ups here. It really creates a sense of a consistent look to this. It's called Rethink Asphalt campaign. So this is something that we shared on our company LinkedIn account. And then of course, the call to action, check out the full case study, and then it linked them over to that case study on the website. As we go through this a little bit more, just some additional tips. Make sure that you are posting something with your post. You don't want to just post a line of copy. You want to pair it with a video. You want to pair it with a photo. Images typically result in a 2x higher comment rate. Videos is 5 times more engagement. What I love is that you can use it to maybe spotlight employees. Maybe you're building this, if you're a little bit of a larger organization, you have multiple team members. Maybe you're leaning into that company culture. Hey, this is a great place for us to work, for you to work. Maybe it's a recruitment objective. You're trying to get more people to apply at your place of business. Maybe you're recognizing important team members. You're celebrating them on their birthday or big achievements that they make. You can also, like the other platforms, schedule content ahead of time. So if you have some downtime, or maybe you're working with a social media intern this summer, you can schedule posts to go out on a certain date and time, making it easier for you to share maybe when your audience is most engaged. A couple other LinkedIn tips. When you do get started, what's really cool is, I think a lot of us, have personal LinkedIn accounts for ourselves. We've grown our personal contacts. New feature, you can now invite personal contacts to follow your LinkedIn page. How cool is that? So on the right-hand side, I highlighted in yellow, it says grow your followers. You have about 250 credits. I think it's per month, I think. But you can't just invite everyone all at once, which it's kind of a protection so you're not bombarded with all these invitations every day. But you can go through and invite people to like your page. And this is a great way to grow your followers on your company business page by inviting your already connected um, contacts on your personal LinkedIn page. So really cool stuff there. And the other thing too, a newer feature, you can notify employees. So if you have a couple of really good employees that just love resharing and they're just good brand advocates for the company, let's say if you have a big fun company update, big announcement, you can notify all your employees that are connected to your business page on LinkedIn. It will send them a notification that says Clanin Marketing, like notify you of their latest post. Would you like to share it or something of that nature? So you go to the three dots on the right of any post and you can click notify employees. Again, this is great for a little bit of a larger team and people that have, or companies that have employees that just very active on LinkedIn. They can use their platform to help reshare some employee generated, or I'm sorry, company generated content. Okay, real quick, just because I know it probably come up in some conversation. Threads is a new social media platform that is owned by Facebook, Instagram, but owned by Meta. Threads is similar to Twitter or X now, and it's kind of their response. I'm not sure where Threads is going. I'll be curious to see this time next year if Threads is still popular or what they're doing with it. A ton of people signed up for Threads in a short period of time when they announced it last year. But since then, we haven't really heard much about it. But if you look at that little @ symbol, left-hand screenshot next to the Clanin Marketing, that is your Threads. And then I tried, even when I was on there, I had a hard time trying to find local organizations, local companies that are actively using Threads. And I found a lot of U of I departments, U of I units. So Cancer Center, Illinois, this is their middle screenshot. That's just their profile there. And very similar to X, it's a lot of just short, I don't want to say tweets, but short little threads that they're posting out on their page. Not a ton of traction right now. I'm curious to see if this continues to evolve. If anything, what you could do is just secure your username, secure your handle on this page if you are planning on being active, especially on Instagram. It's very easy to get up and going on Threads if you do have an Instagram account. But I don't know if this is going to be around. It's still active. It's still going right now, but we're not seeing a whole lot of traction, at least in our local market. I wanted to mention it to you today. Okay, we are running a little short on time. We have about a little over 10 minutes still left, or about 10 minutes left. But I do want to go over a couple other quick slides here. And if you have specific comments or pain points that you've experienced on social media, feel free to start dropping those in the chat. But I do want to mention these three. X, formerly known as Twitter. I don't know where this platform is going, to be honest with you. We don't see a whole lot of people, especially in our market, that are saying, oh, I saw this on X, or I saw your ad on X. Usually it's more of the Facebook, it's more of the Instagram. It may still be a platform for you to consider, but I do know some just larger brands have paused advertising on there just because of leadership changes and some, if you will, drama that X has experienced over the years. It's still around, but it's not something that I recommend every business feeling the need to jump on as I once did, even before the pandemic. TikTok. TikTok is very popular, and I think it will continue to be pretty popular. I've been a little hesitant on TikTok just because of the political nature of this platform. I don't want to get too political on the call today, but these are just facts. It's certainly a topic conversation in the political world of maybe banning this app in the country. And so we've had a hard time, telling our clients, hey, invest a lot into this and develop a strategy when the future of this whole platform is up in the air. So if you are interested in short format videos, nothing is stopping you from joining TikTok and from trying. Going viral is different. I had a friend that runs a whiskey channel, and he had a video that took off on Instagram Reels with over 1 million different views, and grew his followers kind of overnight. But it doesn't mean every video that you post after that it's going to be viral. It really can just be hit or miss. So I'll be sharing more about that in that Instagram workshop. But TikTok is still a popular platform. It's very similar to Reels, as Reels very similar to TikTok, because Reels was the response to TikTok. You want to make sure it's engaging content. It's not overly popular. You're using certain hashtags. You're using trending music, trending transitions. We'll show you all that during the in-person one. But again, the future of TikTok is a little unknown. So it's hard for me to say, invest everything you have into this platform and go for it when we're not quite sure what is going to happen quite yet. And then the other one, I don't know if it's technically a social media platform, but of course, YouTube. YouTube is great. This is the SBDCs. They have a channel page where they can upload all of the different videos that we've done in the past. But if you have a variety of different videos, a little series, you can create little playlists on YouTube. And this is a great platform to host videos. So you don't have to host videos on your website that slow your website down. You can embed YouTube videos on your website. But again, this is also a great platform. You really want to think about, we're going to segue quickly over to just content. What makes your thumb stop? So when you are thinking of content, we've talked about the audience identification, what your goals are, what the platforms, who's on these platforms and how do you use them for your business, but what's the content that you're going to post? We call this thumb stopping content. So when you're on the couch just scrolling through on your phone, what makes you drop your thumb and stop? Take a screenshot of that. Save it into an inspiration library. Is it the fonts, colors, music, motion, all the above? Something made you stop and engage with that piece of content. These are ones that made my thumb stop. This is one from Martinelli's Market in Champaign earlier this month. Go green this St. Patrick's Day. What I love about this, it's simple. They didn't do any crazy video for this. They took 4 really nice photos. They made a nice graphic, probably in Canva, using their Martinelli's green color, using their fonts that are part of their font system or their brand system. It has a nice little look to it. I don't know if this has audio. Let's see if this plays. Yeah, there's music to that, but this is one that I really liked, where it's just a little bit of motion, but it's really just a photo slideshow. You could do this within Facebook, and it has a little studio creator where you can create little animated things. And the one on the right, this is what's called a boomerang, a looping video. So if this guy just posted a photo of this, I may not know what this was, but just that little reflection of the light, I see that, okay, it's a really cool cutout last name, last initial there. And this had hundreds and hundreds of comments of people tagging each other on this. So that was a really good piece of content. And then just some other photos here. The ones on the left, these were taken by the business owner on his phone, which was great. Some of these other ones were from a photographer. Again, thumb stopping. I want that donut, right? I want that coconut drink. You see on the right-hand side, this is Bacon and Van Buskirk. This is some that we did for them. So these were kind of custom stock shoots. Made sure that their employees were in that red shirt. You have their red through the van, the logo on the door. We're carrying over that style we created these in Canva with them. Very easy for them to switch out stuff. Happy retirement, and a nice photo of one of their employees that just retired. Logo there at the bottom. But you start creating this consistent look, this tight look across all of your channels, all of your different social media platforms. Okay, we are coming up to the end here, so I do want to just show you real quick. We have the hashtag tips. Try to use relevant hashtag, use the right amount of hashtag. Really, again, no more than 10. Maybe you're using specific brand hashtags. So if you're a clothing store and you want to see people style that, maybe create a fun little hashtag that they can use for them. Anytime we're posting something, we use a lot of and I know Jordan does this too, the local-based hashtags. The Shambana hashtag is a very popular one to chime into if you're doing something community-focused. But again, those are just some quick hashtag tips. Leaving you with a couple of additional resources. Meta Blueprint is a great resource if you're looking for certifications, but they have case studies and videos, how to create incredible content online, run great ads. LinkedIn has something similar. Instagram Business has some great resources and articles on there, but Canva is going to be your best friend. If you're looking for that thumb-stopping content, really high quality graphics, you don't maybe have enough to spend to hire a graphic designer, freelance designer, use Canva. We do have that separate workshop coming up later this year. This is great. It's pre-built templates, adjust colors, adjust fonts, and you're going to get a great little system of graphics that you can use on a variety of different things on your website, cover images, square images, reels, stories, so much more. Again, all that is on Canva. That's going to be great for you to create some, again, thumb-stopping content. All right, whew, we made it. So that brings us to the end of today's webinar, Social Media 101. I know it's a lot to take in, but really just kind of take a moment to think about what your goals and objectives are, who your audience is, and where they spend time online. From there, then really think ahead and try to plan out a content calendar for the year. This is going to help you be a little less stressed throughout the year. So it's not, oh shoot, we need to post something just to post something. You're working almost maybe 30 days ahead. So you know exactly, okay, around this week, we should be promoting this. We should be pushing this. And then from there, you'll be able to build out your content library. So hopefully you got some good takeaways from today's crash course in Social Media 101. Again, there's a variety of different platforms out there for you to choose from. But the two of the biggest ones right now, Facebook, Instagram, are two of still the leaders. Reels and TikTok are still very popular when it comes to some of the short format videos. So wonderful. I'll hand it over to Jordan to see if we have any questions, and we'll go from there.
Thanks so much, Scott. We do have just a couple. If anyone else has any, please feel free to submit them. We'll get them covered. But the first one says, is Facebook more reliable, sorry, y'all, than other social media?
I guess it kind of depends on, how they're defining reliable. But yeah, I mean, Facebook is one of the OGs, right? It's one of the originals when it comes to social media. A lot of us still have Facebook accounts. I find myself maybe a little more on Instagram now than on Facebook, but it's all about making sure you're getting in front of people, right? You don't want to be, if you have maybe 1,000 followers and you're posting things and you're getting only 15 people that use it, and it's two of your employees, your aunt, and then your neighbor, are you really getting in front of the right people? So it is a reliable platform. We've spent a lot of money on the platform running ads, and there are certainly little hiccups along the way as Facebook continues to evolve and make changes. But yes, it is still a very reliable platform.
All right. And then the next one says, how do you link your Instagram and Facebook? Every time I try to transfer a post, in quotes, send to Instagram from my post, it says it's unable to do this.
Got it. Yep, that is tricky. We have seen some clients experience that in the past. I believe you should be able to do that within your Facebook Business Manager account. And if you've already tried, try to just disconnect everything or try to go through the Instagram app on your phone to see if you connect it that way. I do caution though, because we do get that question asked a lot, is I want to connect it. Connecting it certainly makes it easy. But we've also heard a variety of cons with pushing content from one platform to another. They are different platforms and they were designed differently. So there have been a number of times where I go to someone's Facebook page and I can clearly see that all that content is actually pulling from Instagram because it's the post and then it's like all these different hashtags. Well, no one uses hashtags on Facebook, but the copy of the post has a ton of hashtags that just make the content on Facebook look messy and busy. We've also heard some cons of Facebook, or Meta, the umbrella company, knows when content is being pushed from one to another, and it could hurt your algorithm. It could hurt how many times people see that post because they may not be showing it. The platform may not be showing it to as many people because it knows it's auto ported over from another platform. So I believe you should still be able to do it within Business Manager, maybe trying to start over. It's hard to say without looking at it, and then trying to do a reconnection to see if that works. But it can get a little tricky because Facebook has changed the way you connect those on the back end.
Okay, we do have another question, but I also just wanted to add something that answer to, not to step on your toes, Scott, but as someone who also does social media, I kind of feel like the tone is different on platforms. So Instagram is much more fun, and I don't want to say loose, but you know what I mean. You can have fun with that caption and everything. Yeah. So sometimes it's easier it takes maybe a couple extra minutes, but to manually post on both sometimes has a huge impact.
It does, yeah, and you're exactly right. Instagram is a touch more conversational. You see people posting it in the comments a little bit more and business responding in the comments a little more on Instagram, whereas Facebook's a little more, I think you could still be fun on it, but it's a little more informative and a little more direct and a little more, leaning towards that call to action because you can add links on a Facebook post where you can't put a link in your Instagram post because a lot of people say, oh, just check out the link in bio for more information. But yeah, that's a great point.
All right, and then the last one we have submitted says, which strategy is, oh, sorry, popped up. We have another one. Which strategy is most effective? Starting with one platform or a couple of them when you are starting out and want some beginner exposure?
Great question. The one thing I do recommend is making sure that you at least secure your username on all of them or the ones that you believe you're going to be using at the same time. So you secure the same handle. That makes it very easy for you. So is it like Clanin_marketing or is it Clanin marketing all one? So try to secure those. There's no reason, really, it comes down to just management. You don't want to overwhelm yourself if you are a small team, or maybe it's just you and you wear 30 different hats trying to manage different platforms. So it could be just personal preference, but I do like the idea of trying two different platforms at once, right? Because it's almost like what we call an A/B test. Are you seeing more response happening on Instagram than you are on Facebook? But really, there's no downside of trying to start two platforms at once. It really will just come down to time management and what you feel like you could take on.
And then the last one says, I'm located in the Chicago area. Please clarify if you had said, is it more advantageous to work with a company like yours where I'm located?
Not necessarily. You don't need to work with a company like ours to be successful on social media. I've seen a number of clients or businesses that we've never worked with where I'm quite envious of their social media strategy. And it's because they've taken the time to really understand their brand, their tone, their messaging, their audience, and you can tell they've been very strategic with their content. Now, the one thing to think about, when you do maybe consider outsourcing things, or do you struggle with strategy? Do you struggle with creative development? Right? It's like, gosh, I know what we need to say, and I know what our strategy is. We don't have the creative to reflect that. So that's where maybe you bring in a photographer, you bring in a designer to help create some of those things. So we've worked with clients in all different capacities to where it's like, actually, you're great on content. Let's just help you with some strategy, or maybe you have strategy. Let's help with content. But again, you don't need to. We've seen businesses where if they do it themselves, they take the time to do it themselves, they can be successful. And anymore, I mean, back in the day, we used to help clients manage their pages. We don't do that anymore because we actually don't recommend clients offboarding their whole social media platform management to a third party, because social media should be very much like in the moment content. Of course, you can plan some content ahead, but recording something or shooting content that's in the moment or showing those behind the scenes for reels or stories is really going to help make your content stand out and speak to your audience online. So it's a yes or no answer, but for everyone on still on the call, you don't have to work with a company to be successful on social media by any means.
All right, and I know we did go over, but one final wrap up, which is a super quick answer. Do you work with companies outside of the CU area?
We personally do. I'd be happy to talk to you offline about that. But with social media, though, I do recommend, if possible, trying to work with a local-ish company because they understand the market extremely well. They can meet with you in person. They really get to know you as the brand. You don't want just a vendor. You want a partner, and you want someone that really clearly understands your business and really works an extension of your team. But again, I don't want everyone to feel like you have to work with a company. You can do this yourself. It just takes time to plan and strategize and test. And don't be afraid to try new things. I mean, you're going to find that some things do not work and they fail, but then that just helps you pivot and try something else, and hopefully it sticks.
All right, perfect. Well, we are all caught up on questions. Once again, thank you for those who are still with us. Like I said, I know we went a little over, but lots of great information. We do have some sessions coming up that are definitely going to build off of this one. We have some Instagram sessions that are in person. We have a LinkedIn one online, Canva for that design aspect of things if you'd like to join us. So I'll include all of that in that follow-up email, and that will go out later today. So thank you everyone for joining us, and thank you so much, Scott, for presenting.
Thank you, Jordan. Thank you all for joining. I hope to see you in one of our next webinars, and go Illinois.
Yeah, ignore that Iowa stuff.
Yeah, I know. I'll just cover that. So
Have a great day, everybody.
yeah, bye-bye.